I have some sad news and some good news. Sad news is, I've run out of hymn stories of hymns that I know. That's also good news for me, though, because it's going to cause me to have to learn some hymns in order to read some more hymn stories, because in each of the books that I've used from the past, and I should have had those piled up to show you the different ones, well, no, actually, I might be wrong here. I think there was one book I was looking at that I realized, wow, I never read the stories out of this. Well, anyway, for a time anyway, I might just be doing some songs from some old hymn books. I think it'd just be kind of neat. Like, look at this thing. This is great. You know the song, Bring forth the royal diadem and crown him Lord of all. Robert Lowry was the one who put that together. Oh, look at this too. Look at this really old signature in here. A little funky birdie drawing here from who knows when. You know how long ago that was done. But then, look, crown him Lord of all, the song was called. Hail the power of Jesus' name. Edward Perronay actually also was a part of that. Robert Lowry. This was the first hymn book that was published in, that song. And this one was from like 1890 something or other. I can't remember exactly. Let's see, what's it say? I can't find it. Okay, entered according to the Congress of 1873. Whoa. Is that what the copyright is? Yeah, it says right there, 1873. Wow. Okay, here's another one. Wreath of Praise. Now, I can't remember why I got this one. This is also another book that some certain hymn was first published in this book. Well, no, I'm sorry. No, I got some of these books in a group, so that's not necessarily the case. I think I got this one with the royal diadem, as this one also, I believe. Look at that interesting hymn book. Look at that. Maybe that's the back. Oh, it is. Gems and Jewels. So that's neat, huh? And then here's another one. Now this one here, this one's really neat because this was the first one that When the Roll is Called Up Yonder was from. This is James Black, who wrote When the Roll is Called Up Yonder. He had this book published. Now this one is in plastic, which is nice. It was just nice of the person who sent it to me to put it in plastic. But if you ever find a number 1 of this one, it's quite valuable. Okay, so just a little something for you to remember there. And now this one. This one's from like 1921, and it's a collection of different hymns compiled from the songbooks from the Moody Crusades. Ira Sankey, of course, was Moody's song director, as was P.P. Bliss for a time. James McGranahan also worked after P.P. Bliss's death. And George Stebbins. George Stebbins wrote many great hymns. I mean, all those fellas did. But this is neat. Got a lot of great hymns. And so this is one of the examples. In fact, today is one of the times I'm going to do it like this. So I'm going to just I'm going to look through some of these things, find some neat stuff, and sing. Well, okay, I'll just find what I'm talking about here. I was flipping through this, and I came upon Revive Us Again. And I thought, wow, there's no music to it. I wonder why that is. Where's the music? Well, then I read it here. It says, tune on opposite page. Let me back off here a little. Tune on opposite page. So like over here, it's like, rejoice and be glad. Never heard of that song. Also, let's sing it to the tune of Revive Us Again. This is a great song. Listen to this. Rejoice and be glad, the Redeemer has come. Go look on his cradle, his cross, and his tomb. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness he liveth again. Isn't that great? I'll do all the verses. Rejoice and be glad, it is sunshine at last. The clouds have departed, the shadows are past. Sound his praises, tell his story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he liveth again. Rejoice and be glad, for the blood hath been shed. Redemption is finished, the price has been paid. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he liveth again. Rejoice and be glad, now the pardon is free. The just for the unjust has died on the tree. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he liveth again. I just realized I need to hold this out more here. Some of you music type folks recognize that. Look at all these verses. Rejoice and be glad, for the Lamb that was slain, or death is triumphant and liveth again. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. How much do you hold that up? Story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he liveth again. Rejoice and be glad, for a king is on high. He pleadeth for us on his throne in the sky. Rejoice and be glad, for he cometh again. He cometh in glory, the Lamb that was slain. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he cometh again. Oh yeah, okay, I see that. Different little chorus on the 7th verse. Sound his praises, tell the story of him who was slain. Sound his praises, tell with gladness, he cometh again. Which is what I sang. Alright, so that once again from Selected Gospel Hymns. This one's from like 1920 something, but it was given to someone from their parents for Christmas back in 1937. Isn't that precious? Alright, so I'll be looking forward to singing to you from some of these old songbooks here, as the Lord allows.